Anyinga Nkezia, Onoka, Oboge. Oboge is my dad. I'm a public health officer by training. And at the college, rather university, I did my undergraduate in Jomo Kenyatta University with a Bachelor of Science in Public Health. Yeah. So I've practiced here and there, but nafeel kagima, that is not what I was meant to do. And that's why nachako teach mar yad kienyeji ama herbalism. My mom is a herbalist, osebedo herbalist for a very long time. And that I thought, why not? Because magi yen mwasere no kakonyoji.
You've just picked up from your mom, you picked up gima mam timo.
Dagine timo mano, and then now her, and then now me. So it's like, what your kumora chiel. Yeah.
Other than your mom being a herbalist, why did you decide to switch from, conventional medicine, tibire herbalism?
Number one, kecha practice in health. Ase bede subtandegi, ase nenogik magitimo, and I felt like there is a gap. That is number one. And then number two, abe nase bet gitoma duong. Manatemo thiedho subtal, but it never worked. Walungo gini lifestyle or chronic. Makidhika daktari ongisini, this is something you have to live with for the rest of your life. So I did not get help from them. Yen expensive, and then tie challenges mag pesa. So here and there, nkechentuo mano makakatin, so intuitively, yani mano gimnentie, something told me that do this, to naneno kotiyo. So at this point, that's why I got in taneno kathiedra, kod yadh kienyeji, kod diet. Basically, that's it. So number one, I saw a gap. Naneno ni, maybe subtle, they don't focus so much on the preventive medicine, because that's my training. Preventive, promotive, they don't focus on that. Number one. So there was a gap in that. And then number two, naseti yadragi and kienyeji. So that's why I saw it was important.
Some people in the healthcare system would argue ni herbs or traditional medicine is not backed by any research. It's not kata insane wachoni intuitively. There's a way you manage to do a few things here and there to get your condition sorted. How would you respond to that?
How would I respond to that? It's true. It's not backed up by science. No, it's intentional because they understand. It's like a big, how do I call it? It's like a system working around. So the more people we have who are sick, the better. So these things work. We don't even call them medicine. It's about healing, not curing. So definitely, or I can say as at now, research. We don't have enough research around it. So it's a trial and error. Watemokoni, wamakokoni. So we don't have like pre-formulated doses. It's just trial and error.
At what point should somebody consider, like for example, leave conventional medicine and come to herbs?
Waseneno jomo setemo for a very long time, even 10 years, 20 years, gisetemo yudo kony from mainstream ama conventional medicine, but ok yud kony. So kise dhi kumoro maybe once or twice or thrice, tineno ni okikonyri. How about, nkech Nyasaye nomiyowa that intuition, ni gini okti, how about we fix to something else that can work? So mostly jomwa deal go gin joma ose struggle for a very long time. You'd coin from the hospitals, but they don't get. So at that point, so unge time onyalo achatini setemo dichel dirio, it's like something personally new. Ma ibo neno ni akoro, maybe let me seek for another option.
Okay. Now, iwacho ni nitie gik moko maninene hospital that some of these things are not really helping patients. Is that something that you can authoritatively say most hospitals are not helping?
I think the system should mainly focus on kumagi. Onego focus because for critical care they're so good. For critical care and cage, maybe ngato ido accident, ngato ntie called life-threatening diseases whereby they need critical care. We cannot downplay the fact that they are very important. They'll save lives. But for the preventive part, which is a major part, I think the preventive practitioners should be more vigilant on those parts than the doctors. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay. Now, nitie gik moko miwacho ni kik wacham to gin gik ma, well, an kipenja to gin gik ma wang'iyogo since childhood.
Yes.
Is it that bad?
You know, nitie gimoro mwaluongo in toxicology, luongo ni latency in toxicity. Kwa hivyo gin gima kao time from about 10, wawachacha 10 years onwards, eki nyalo neno. So as much as ni chako chame kitin, it doesn't mean that it's not poison. Koro kaka chon wachamo kuon, wawach ni wachamo kuon. Yeah, so I think the issue is from a preventive perspective, kaka anwang'yo the pesticides molosego. Nikech ineno kuon machon ok en kuon masani. That is something that we can agree about. Gik moko kaka ngano machon ok en ngano masani. To kata chapat chon nwachamoga once, I can remember. Christmas. I'm not that old, but anyalo paro ni Christmas, Easter, dichiel, to pan en ga achiel e gweng' mikwayo. Like you book it. But nowadays chapat kiwuok,
You
book like I said, mitatumia from this time to this time.
Yeah.
That goes to show how rare it was. The chapati ni chamo once in a while. Na gluten, which is the problem in the chapati. So the more you expose to it, the more ama the highly likely minyalo yudo tuoche mawuoyegi. Kwa hivyo kaka kuon kata ka jene chamo kuon chon jini tiyo matek. Sani mostly people have desk jobs. Yeah, now most people, it's very evident, most people have that pot belly. Ma that's a very big sign ni ngatutuo. Chon you don't amnengi kitambi tek sana. But nowadays that's the norm. So that's just one of the signs that we are doing something wrong.
Donga weni kata wan joluo kine ka ng'ato neni ka in gi kitambi to ichwe koro mano ji wacho ni iwinjo maber.
But what was the outcome? Jogi mostly ne end up gitweche kaka diabetes, high blood pressure, magitweche manene gogi.
Speaking of those conditions, high blood pressure, for example, ere kaka inyalo thiedho gi yadh nyaluo?
Very treatable. For example, like my mom, nengi high blood pressure marach kabisa. Wachi ni high. Layman's terms, nen very high. But sani okomony yath. She just managed it through diet. Yeah, enowe mana majan, sukari, but chapat to podo chamo. Unawacho ni chapat to dakowe, but she...
Ang'o momiyo podi weyo chamo chapat to in main kodeka?
She's addicted, okanyal. Emomiyo wacho ati ni it's about informed decision. Kata eno okanyal force anywhere. I just give her that information, and then if she chooses, now she chooses. Nkecho okanyal force ng'ato timo gimoro. Yeah.
So these conditions, most hospitals are saying they can't handle. They still, you can actually manage them using herbal medicine.
Yeah, definitely we can. We can.
What is the success rate? Mar jok ma imiyo yadh hypertension, for example.
Hypertension so far, what ni 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 jomose miyo yath gichango. Though ntie jomok disciplined, what ni 1%. What ni out of 100 people, 10 people, 90 people, they recover, 10 people don't. Na kuna many dynamics, ntie joma yani giol along the way, but ngamoluo, what we tell them, they recover.
Okay.
Fully,
Diabetes?
Diabetes bechango. To waseneno all over TikTok, ji mang'eny chango kan kata kenda, ntie jomose thiedho diabetes, even through fasting alone, even without the herbs, just fasting.
So this fasting thing works?
It works, 100%. Yeah. Ntie jomose chango fasting manengi cancer. Manongis gin, you have this amount of time to go. They just fast, they give up na togi chango. So fasting plus dandelion root, black seed kod sawa soptieko cancer. Of course, we concoct other things, but one take jomang'eny mose chango.
That's interesting. And why do you think jokma practice conventional medicine, are they aware that these things are working? And if they are, why are they not saying it?
Kanye mo kanyal ng'eyo maber, but most of the doctors must say interact go. Kata joma family, ngeni family oknyal wondi. I think ntie gap no, gin inge kaka no puonjgi, we call them robots, nkech gin gim no puonjgi chai gima giluo. They don't want to open up their minds. Nkech in other countries, in fact, doctors are the ones who are championing for functional, ilungeni functional medicine, kata alternative medicine, kata holistic medicine.
Okay.
Koro Kenya ema pod waneno kuna hiyo laxity, but other countries gisechako practice. Gitiyo kod kienyeji kata thiedho fibroids. I think it's in Mexico, I'm not really sure. Nitie daktari mok ti kod the conventional medicine thiedho fibroids. Otiyo mana gi herbs.
Yeah.
Castor oil being one of them.
You know, we're talking about herbal medicine. So the first thing, maybe we are any other Masai. I don't always know what's in it, but they claim that it, you know, can sort quite a number of problems.
Yes, yes.
How is that even possible?
It is possible. Nwantie kod Dr. Moroma, very famous. Maji wacho ni maybe he was assassinated. Ilonge ni Dr. Sebi. Nobiro gi theory Moroma no wacho ni tuo en mucus. Ka intie kod mucus e brain, ntie, there's a condition called for it. So it's just mucus, to mucus ikelo gi acid e del. To acid ikelo mana gi diet mwachamo. So yath mwamigi, kimadho yath kienyeji, characteristic mare en gani, it's very bitter. So anything that is bitter is highly alkaline. A pH scale, we have the acidic and the alkaline, or the basic part. Koro yath mwamigi, wacha ni, wache directly, inaenda tu neutralize iyo acid. That's very, it's a very general term, but of course kuna intricacies to it. So iyudo ni yath achiel thiedho tuoche gite, nikech it's just one source. Kwa hivyo ka nitie brain, ka nitie chuny, en wacho ni en mucus, but mostly en mana acid e del ema kelo issues gote. So yath achiel kata an kaka thietho, yath moro amora mawuok kae, dibet ni in gi skin conditions, in gi whatever issue, you have to start with the detoxes. Waluongo gi ni detoxes, but in essence of gin detoxes. Gina they alkalize your body, is that simple. Kwa hivyo gin real detoxes kaka waluongo gi. They just tend to alkalize your body, fix that issue of mucus kod acidity e del to ichango. So en mana yath achiel fixes all those issues.
Now, let's come to men's health, for example. And I am sure that it's something that most men would not want to talk about or agree that they have issues, especially to do with their sexuality, in two ways. Way number one, performance. And number two, not being able to bear children. Most of them even go to extents of blaming their partners instead of just owning up and probably just saying that, you know, even opening up to the fact that they could be the ones having issues. Now, with the current diets that ordinary men take, or what are some of the lifestyle choices that you think affect men's sexuality?
15% of couples struggle with infertility. About 50% of the cases is due to male factors. So those male factors are varied. So we are Africans, number one. So we have these challenges. Of course, chuo kenyal admit ni another problem because it's really complex. But yeah, I can say that most cases, 50% is a huge number. But some cases are fixable. Kwa hivyo diet inachangia kabisa. Diet changia maduong in terms of nikechintie chuo mawaloko negi mana diet na in a matter of like 6 months, 3 to 6 months waneno gik moko lokre. So for a man nangwa werga ni chuo dichuo konego cham ngano, because ngano is your number one enemy as a dichuo. So dichuo konego cham ngano.
Wawe chapat mandas.
Kabisa. Obed mkate, chapat, anything that has ngano in it. Now this is something that has been backed up na research.
So konego beniwa cham ngano.
Konego kabisa.
Is that something to do with, you know, being fertile or just improving performance generally?
What it does, it reduces your testosterone. So as a man, testosterone is everything. And motimo ibedo fertile. Even for the physical characteristics, it's about testosterone. So called dog pin, to nyaka ibed gi issues mag fertility in one way or the other. Of course, ntie factors moko mag gluten, mantie ngano, kelo, but that is the major. Nikech ogolo gimoro molongo ni magnesium, zinc from your system, and mago ema wahitaji. Rather men require to build up the testosterone.
Most men now say they just want to do their 2 minutes of honest God's work and leave the rest and not think about it.
Yeah.
Is it because that's how it's actually supposed to be? Or en managi makoro giseol gisewacho ni well liwalo na liwe.
Nitie gimoro mwachoga ni grapes wa sawa ama sungura alipokosa kufikia mzabibu nowacho ni after all chal ni giwach kata gikech. So sometimes if you cannot achieve something unasema tu orach, but in real sense I think performance okanyal wacho ni maybe 2 minutes 3 minutes but aparo ni chuo even amongst themselves they know the optimal time monego gibed gi
And
perform.
it varies from
It varies, of
person
course,
to person.
it varies.
Yeah. So it only has to get back to the individual mondongia and any how was it
How was
prior?
it performed? Yeah, prior to that.
Then yeah.
Biromos.
Well, how about the ladies though? No one talks about them in terms of.
Okay, ladies pia they struggle. They struggle with issues magigi. It's just that ladies are more open. Kata kidonje in my comment section, you'll see if you bring up issue that concerning ladies, they comment. But for men, mostly they come to your inbox, ama they call.
Yeah.
So for men, they're more private and they can say they have more issues than women.
Oh.
Yeah, they have more issues. It's just that women are more vocal about it. Koro, ladies, they also have their issues, mangenya.
What is the worst issue, especially from men, that you've ever had? Of course, without going to the details of who they are. What would you say it's like the worst case that you've ever had from a man?
The worst case I've ever had from a man is a man struggle kod gimoro malongo ni semen leakage. Semen leakage. And ko bet is involuntary waka. So he had to put on like diaper. Yeah, so and he was a very young guy. Apparently 35 is a young.
Semen leakage.
It happens to enga consequence mar masturbation because it's really common nowadays. So
Okay.
yeah, he was struggling with that issue of semen leakage. To no se work, rather he went to some urologist ba otingo bede giwachoni, now I don't think we can help you any further. Because I think that is the worst because it's a very sad scenario.
Ooh, that is the first time I've heard this.
Yeah, it is very common. It's not common, but it happens. It happens.
Kwa hivyo watu wa kunyonga.
Watu wa kunyonga.
Should probably stop.
Yeah, you should. And kunyonga is hard because it's a psychological issue. Some people may want to stop, but they can't. It's just like alcoholism.
I want us to dive a little bit deeper into some conditions, and you probably give some advice on how some of these things can be done. One, still on that train of thought, in infertility. Nyiswane about ladies, Koro.
Infertility in ladies.
What can they do, or what should they stop eating, or how can they manage? Jok madwaro nyithindo to ogiyudi. If the problem is truly with the lady, what can they do?
Okay, if it's with the lady, married ladies, it's a bit complex. Ladies, for men, we can say gimora chel kataria dek, but for ladies, sometimes it can be really complex.
Yeah.
But gimone no sani affect fertility mar ladies ahinya gimoro malongo ni PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Okay.
So basically in mana tuo sukari, it's like diabetes of the ovaries. Koro manwangisi ni ka intie kod that condition, if you want to prevent, number one, of course, onegi control insulin in mari. Depending onegi ilu diet makare, avoid sugars, too much ugali, nikech ngano en sukari, mchele en sukari, kuon en sukari, magote sukari.
Yeah.
So it's just about your diet. Lakini kose you digi condition, no, it can take even up to a year or 2 before you fix that.
Okay. But unfixable.
Very, very fixable.
Okay. How about gimoro kaka endometriosis, for example?
Endometriosis bentie kanyo. Koro ntie yen. Gibedo fixed mana gi yen nyoluo. Inge yadh nyaluo, they don't know what endometriosis is.
Yeah.
Gikia gima PCOS en, but ging'eyo ni en tuo. Kata rariwo, onge ga ng'ama ong'eyo ni rariwo en ang'o. They don't know if it's fibroids.
Yeah.
They don't know if it's cyst. Koro kwa mi yath, wami yath mashughulikia gigo te.
But you see, my other problem is I feel like there's a lot of women, Okokai, who still don't know that period pain, I mean painful periods, is actually not normal.
It's not. It's not normal.
Koro nitie mana jok magin ging'io when their time comes, they can't work, they can't do anything, and they don't actually know that they are sick.
Yeah. And that's why I'm so vocal and I'm loud. Poka wai ole TikTok trying to create awareness.
Yeah.
Nikech nitie joma onge that information. Wacho gani information is power. So the moment you have information, you can make informed decision.
Yeah.
Kwa hivyo ok onego ibed gi pain at all. Because I remember I also struggled with that. To kanyalo kao case na, aparo ni nitie issue mar stigma. Nikech maybe your mom is supposed to puonji gigi ok puonjwa, you just hear them from outside, but kama mama unyalo puonji, nyalo bet maber. Ama maybe a relative within the family, nyalo mention, it can be really nice. Nyalo konyowa e tich mwatemo push ni. So the issue, mar painful periods, ok onego feel any pain whatsoever. Of course, you'll feel ni nitie gimoro matimre dendi, but you're not supposed to feel any pain mok inyal dhi e tich. In fact, nitie another lady, nongisa, she's about 42. And then ongisa ni, I saw you on TikTok, aneno ni thiedho ji, awacho ni we atem, because I've tried everything. I've worked with the best consultant, gynecologists. Osemiya yente, but I gave up. Bangeni, maybe that's how life is supposed to be. Kore no wacho ga ni wuotho gi painkillers e bag. Onge seche ma periods biro, ochako muonyo yath for 7 days straight. To yen gi bentie gi issues. Kore angise ni watem, and she was very skeptical. Angise ni watem, because I don't try to like convince ngato. Angise ni watem atema. Koro yath no dhi kuome, and she actually called me crying. Tama ni kwani ngato tho koso ni ang'o matimre. Ati I never thought ni ngato nyalo have a painless period. Ati ni poko waineno. For the 40 years mosedak e piny ni, to notiyo gi yath once. To en mana yath achiel mowacho ni wathiedho go tuoche techa, emno thiedhe. So it's just about inflammation e del, acidosis e del gi gik makamago. So it's very treatable. To gi diet, of course, diet is like 95%. Yath en 5%, nikech o reverse gima diet no kelo. So, no rumo, she aminingi mpaka kawuono, nyaka kawuono she doesn't believe to kelo na gaji mang'eny. So it's very treatable, very, very, very treatable, and it's not normal to have period pain. And then parents, kata kin gi your sister somewhere else, it's good to educate. Nikech abe na struggle kode for a while.
And that was sorted?
It was sorted mana gi yath kienyeji, to nakonyra kenda, onge ng'ama nokonya. My mom being a herbalist, obe ok nokonya, nakonyra mana kenda.
Dongi wacho ni mganga hajigangi.
Hajigangi, true.
To in mijiganga ni?
Anto koro najiganga from that perspective. Na mother yen go, though nitie mama manomiya yen.
Okay.
But they are just the same things.
Okay. Okay. Now, maybe as we wind up, I am aware there are some doctors who don't like you very much. What do you tell them?
What I tell them is just a matter of time. They'll understand what I'm trying to preach, because we have others. Ntie mokobe magochona se thiedho dakteche moko, especially for the painful periods. So far aparo ni ase treat daktache adek who are gynecologists. Yen mana ni ok wanyal mention them. They are like, ebu tutumia like jokes, gitiyo kode to work. So with time, I believe they'll just...
To ginema we would expect ni gigi.
But we believe ka gise chango, maybe they'll start championing for the same. Because the goal is to create awareness. We don't care ni work from which front, as long as ni people get to learn.
Okay. So, would you recommend a shift towards, traditional medicine?
A shift, I think we can work together. Not really maybe 100% shift, but I think traditional medicine and conventional medicine can work together. It's not like we are shifting 100% to, or we are shifting 100% to conventional. We strike a balance, because sustainability is important.
My other concern would be, like, you see the way conventional medicine has got structures and institutions that actually govern and regulate the practice. This is something that is missing in traditional medicine. So how would you guys expect ni koroji or trust you as an institution when you're actually dealing with people's lives to onge ngat ma regulate?
Yeah, that's a very important question, Kech. You know, we are Kenyans and we are very business oriented. Koro nitie joma maybe gineno Nola timo gini chalni oyudo pesa kae, now we also want to do it.
Ambe kora chake.
To chake to nyalo hinyo ng'ato because like I'm just the face wadil gi almost 10 people mose practice gini for a very long time. 20-30 years and beyond. And ngama say practice for a very short time and I don't trust myself enough 100% the mujiat, so I have to have backup. Kwa hivyo acho ni joma chake achaka kama it's risky. I know we don't have regulations. Maybe one day in the future wabo bedo gi regulations manyalo regulate such. But wote mwacho ni kata kidhi herbalist, make sure ni en kod experience. Nikech joma thiedho kata tuoche madongo, gin mojo mnoko kalo kata high school ok ne gichoko primary. So gin githiedhe mana gi maybe tuseme gifts or spirits. But kik idhi kuom ng'ato just because iwinjo ni to en field ma ji osechako penetrate. Since I started, aseneno ka ji odonje kabisa. So
people as young as you.
So you need to be very careful when you're sourcing for herbalist ama herbs. Nikech ginyalo bedo sum.
Ang'o mano change actually. Nikech herbal medicine, as I know it, I don't know, maybe there is a contrary opinion. Ni ne en gima iyudo ka joma dongo ema timo. People who are well into their old age, if I would say that. But here you are, you're still young, let me say that.
Same to young, still
young. Sweet 16. You're here. Ang'o momiyo ichako chon kama?
Achako chon kech question no tech because I had time in my hands, number one. And I feel nitie purpose in what I'm doing, nitie purpose. Nikech ka ng'ato ka gocho na yuak ni akonye, I feel like I have
you have to do something about it.
But nitie yen moko anyal mulo podi according to my age. That's why I work with my mom and that team.
Nitie moko mokinyal mulo. Nango?
Kuna some aspects of culture and spiritual aspects moko anyal mulo. So
there is also the spiritual bit of it.
There is.
What you do.
There is. Yeah, definitely.
Like lemo or
ok lemo, but nitie kaka yath mar kaka segete mar mako ich. Ngama pod wacho ni joluo wacho ni ngama pod dhi malo ama somebody who's still in the reproductive years, to say maybe under 50, ok onego handle yen gi. Koro ngama handle na yen gi en my mother.
What are some other spiritual aspects ma you observe for some other medicine?
Basically, anyalo wacha ni en mano for now. Mar maybe you ya conceive nini. But ing'eya na come as a herbalist molo jayath. Nitie jayath to nitie ajuoga gigo ng'eny. So me, I'm just a herbalist and jayath. I'm still in training. Okan 100%. As much as ang'eni ma nyalo thiedho gini, kamiyo ng'ato nyalo thiedho gini, I don't handle them. Nitie ng'at ma handle for me. So we have to accept nitie some spiritual aspect. So basically en mana mar fertility no. Ema podi ok anyal handle.
Okay. I'm just asking this question for me. Ni boundaries ni kanye between like jayath, ajuoga, and what other kada exists?
So jayath jayath nyalo kawo to herbalist in kizungu en herbalist. Ong'eni maybe for example ma yath ma thiedho segete ok okete ni spiritual aspects iye. Ajuoga en ng'ama nyalo summon spirits. Nitie yen moko ma kata an, like when I was starting, I had to deal with ajuoga. Koro kidhi kuome ipenje ni mae nyalo timo nade, ineno ka like, you know, I don't know how to describe it. Nitie gima oluongo ni juogi. Ineno ka odonjo kuome, like they summon the juogi. So them, they have that ability to summon juogi. And it's very accurate. En kong'i kama ong'eni mae machandi to nikech yen te mantie piny kae mwang'eyo kata an at some point en juogi manomiyo ng'ato. Onge ng'ama nong'e yath from onge juogi em nomiyo ji yath. So I know we are trying to make it more scientific, but yente en juogem ne kelo ne ji through lake, through whatever sacrifices. So it's passed down from generations to generations to generations. Yeah. But there's a spiritual aspect to it, 100%.
Okay. It doesn't sound very cute to me, especially for a young person.
Definitely.
How do you deal with that?
Deal with the not so
Being,
cute part.
yes, tinde ji ohero titles mabecho. And I don't think a herbalist fits
It doesn't.
in that cadre.
It doesn't.
How do you handle that?
For me, I think I'm more
Because
in
Sani
line.
probably didn't Longorini Dr. Nola.
Definitely. But for me, I think it comes from even my personality. I don't really care about what the people think. As long as I think it's right, I just go along with it. So I'm not looking for maybe approval or validation. If I was, maybe sugarcoat nyingono Martin. But that's what I do.
Okay.
It's not so cute, I agree.
Okay. So what would be your last advice to people regarding, herbal medicine or general human ailments?
My last advice would be you are what you eat. 95% of who you are is what you eat. And then we have the pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory. So if you're thirsty enough to seek or to dig for that knowledge, you'll understand what's inflammatory to your system, what's not inflammatory to your system. So easy madawa, the herbs we give, they are just to reverse. They are not even treating you, they're just reversing what your diet has been doing over time. So you are what you eat. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mano nilongoni Nola, and herbalist. See you next time.